Hi, it's Mr. Kane here, and we're going to talk to you this time about the different kinds of blood vessels that you find inside your body. Yeah, the plumbing, the pipe work that you have that carries the blood around you. So the blood leaves the heart, which is our pump for the system, and it's going around through the pipes. And we've got three different kinds of pipes or blood vessels that carry the blood around. We've got things called arteries. They're quite big chunky things. We've got veins. They're even bigger on the inside than the arteries are, but quite big pipes. And capillaries. These are really skinny little things. So let's find out some more about each of these. So the artery. Okay. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. So I remember it like this. We have A for artery and A for away from the heart. So A for artery, A for away from the heart. And there's a diagram of the artery. We have what's called the lumen, which is basically just the inside of the pipe. The endothelium, which is sort of just the skin on the inside. Then we've got muscle and elastin, which is this stuff here. So muscles and elastic fibers around it. And then collagen is around the outside of that, and that's sort of the real strong stuff that stop it from bursting open. So the elastic fibers allow it to stretch when the heart pumps. It puts a pulse of blood through the artery, and that's where you can feel it in the neck or in your wrist. Use your fingers because you've got a pulse on your thumb, which can confuse things, so use your fingers either on your wrist here, your brachial pulse, or here at the neck for your carotid pulse. They're two easy ones to find, and you can feel the pulse of blood going through the artery, and these elastic fibers allow the artery to stretch, contain that pressure without popping. And the muscle helps push the blood along, because as that pulse goes through, the muscle gets stretched a bit, and as like a reflex action, it contracts, and it helps sort of push the blood along a bit like you squeeze toothpaste through a tube, but at a much faster rate. So that's the artery. Next we have the vein, and veins carry blood towards the heart, and I think of this as, whoops, get rid of that. Think of this as, this is like an arrow, the V there, and veins carry blood towards the heart. So think of the V as being the pointy part of an arrow, and the veins are going towards the heart. So there's our vein, and it's got a much bigger inside to the pipe. It's got the same layers, the inside skin, the muscle and elastin, and the outer layer, but the whole thing, the whole wall of it here is a lot thinner than the artery is. It's carrying low pressure blood. The artery is carrying high pressure, veins are carrying low pressure blood. They also have valves to stop blood going in the wrong direction. The arteries have got the pulse from the heart to push blood through, veins don't have that, so they have a valve on the inside, so it's like a flap here and a flap here, so when the blood comes through, the flap is open, but if the blood tries to go back the other way, these flaps get pushed in by the blood through to here, and they close off, so the blood can't go back the wrong way. So these guys are, the veins are surrounded by the muscles in your body, and when you move your body, they squeeze the veins and it pushes the blood along the blood vessel. You'll notice this if you've been sitting down for a long time. They talk about it on long plane flights. You've been sitting for a long time. Some people often find that their calves and ankles have swollen a bit because they haven't been moving as much, so that the blood sort of pooled down there, hasn't got back up to where it's supposed to go. Good idea to always go for a walk every so often on a plane. Capillaries. This is the link between arteries and veins, and these guys bring all the good stuff in there to the cells. So I'm remembering capillaries, C for capillaries, C for cells. So capillaries link arteries with veins, but these are the guys responsible for bringing all the good stuff in the blood to the cells. This wall of the capillary, it's super skinny, it's only 1 cell thick. The smallest distance we can have still contain the blood in it, and because it's so small it makes it easier for all the good stuff that's in there to diffuse to the body and the stuff we don't want to diffuse in. So we've got oxygen diffusing out, nutrients diffusing out, carbon dioxide going in, and waste stuff going into the thing. It's all diffusion. So we've got, to and from the body's cells here, and every cell isn't more than 1 cell away from a capillary, so the stuff in there doesn't have too far to travel. Okay, so this is where the exchange happens between the blood and the body cells. These are the really important ones. The arteries and veins get the blood to where it needs to be. Capillaries are the link to the body cells, and it only happens through these capillaries. A whole collection of them is known as a capillary bed. So you've got a whole network of these guys buried in amongst the tissues, the muscle tissues or brain tissue, or wherever the stuff inside the blood needs to go. And on one side we've got the arteries over here, and the arteries branch smaller into arterioles and branch smaller and smaller into the capillaries, which then become the venules, which then become the vein. So that's a bit about your blood pipe work. Don't be in a rush to make big holes in it, you'll leak everywhere, but now if you do, you know which one you've made a hole in. Hope that was helpful.